All right, Dylan. Back-to-back weeks. First time, I think, ever since we've done the podcast with you that Wolves are going to be a premier game on the podcast. 2-2, a tie with Newcastle United. As we were joking in our group chat, Wolves, decent against everyone else, maybe bad against some teams, but if you are funded by a whole country in the Middle East with oil money, they just show out and they play really, really well. Callum Wilson opened the scoring in the 22nd minute for Newcastle. Lamina tied it up in the 36th. The controversial penalty that we were talking about was given in the 45th minute, and Wilson put that away too. So 2-1 going into halftime for Newcastle. But Gary O'Neill is Mr. Second Half as of late, and Hwang got the 71st minute goal to tie it up 2-2. Wolves get a point, an important point. It's at home. The fans are loud there, too. It's probably a pretty underrated place to play, is what I've noticed as well. But the floor is yours, man. Talk about the Wolves.
First off, Molineu's got a great atmosphere. It's been known for it, so just want to throw that out there. 2, Tommy Doyle, second week in a row, very good at passing, yet again. Clinical, some would say. Ultimately, I think you brought up a point of that is a good tie for us, and I've never felt like a tie was a loss more from the fact of we are clicking on all cylinders and lost our engine. So I'm hoping we can sort that out in the next couple weeks. And I've been researching hamstring injuries. Apparently, could be a week, could be 6, could be 8 weeks. So hopefully it's on the shorter end, or it's the best Christmas present ever, and we have Pedro back by Boxing Day. But we'll see. I'm really encouraged that no matter what happens this season, hopefully we're staying up. The Wolves are actually fun to watch, and we're attacking. We're playing like when we first came up into the Premier League football of countering and being decisive when we counter. And ultimately, I think if Neto doesn't pull up lame, there's a pass in there where we're up 3-2. And also, we probably should have won 2-1 in my opinion anyway, because yes, Hwang could have probably controlled the ball better. However, he hits the ball first in this penalty and is slowing up. Like, if anything, there should have been a card the other way for LeBron Jamesing it. And just total embellishment, in my opinion. So, I don't know. I think Newcastle is still very, very good. I just think that they might have some tired legs at the moment, too. So, I don't know. Maybe we caught them at the right spot. But dude, I'll take the point and move on.
I think that's a really great point. I mean, they're coming off of the loss to Dortmund. They're playing way more games than they're used to. They're not as deep as a team that's been in the Champions League for the past couple of years. They only made one substitute in this game. That kind of shows that. But their midweek games are high stress. Yeah. PSG, Milan, Dortmund. Those are going to be... That's what I said. Those are going to be the...
Oh.
Yeah, you're good. Those are going to be the games that if you catch them right after that, like, I think you're in a pretty sound spot that they're going to be a little bit tired. But there's something, and I remember watching the City Wolves game that, like, I don't know how to describe it, but you guys just hit in waves. It's weird. It's like there is nothing going on. I feel safe. And then all of a sudden it's like wave number 1, wave number 2, wave number 3, and you just got to fucking hunker down and survive.
But I think that's what a good counter team does, no? Like,
for sure.
I think it's something where the two things, I guess if you really want to go through the positives, is one, we went down twice and we battled back and got goals. Which, if we're down 1-0 or even 2-1, I didn't think we could score 2 goals in a game consistently to where the game's already over. So, like, the fact that we can do that is great in that sense. 2, I think with the circumstances of when Gary O'Neill came on, I think we finally have chemistry of what he truly wants to do, and the team believes in what he's preaching, I guess, in this sense. And I with what Michael just mentioned, with like what he thinks Brighton is moving too many people around, like we're consistently starting the same players week in and week out, and I think the chemistry and cohesion for what Gary O'Neill wants them to do is paying off. And I think the fact that goals are starting to go in, this is basically what we've been lacking for the past 2 years, of the confidence of knowing that we can score and we can be dangerous. And we just have to decide when we want to turn it on. And when we're at Molineux and the supporters are behind them, yes, it is complete waves. Because it's unfortunate that when Pedro got injured, Newcastle basically took control of the game and we were just holding on, I think, to get the point. But going into that, like, that was the most... I literally dreamt, and this is... I don't know what this says about me, but, like, him pulling up in terms of just, like, spooky season stuff, but also, like, we had a 4-on-3 going with the leading assist giver in the Premier League about to be clinical again, and it looked magnificent until he grabbed his leg. And I think there was about to be 5 more of those to end the game if that doesn't happen.
Real quick, I got 2 questions, and I want Michael, you to chime in too. Their pre-injury, and like again, I joke because you guys beat City, but I don't want Wolves to go down. I don't want Dylan to be sad. There's not been a player better and hotter play wise this year than Neto, right, Michael?
I mean, I would say Douglas Luiz.
Only at home though, but he's only been good at home.
Yeah, but I mean, he's good at all phases of the game.
I mean,
like he is.
Every aspect of Neto has been a dude of the week this year.
Yeah, for sure. But I also just think he has definitely been one of them. You could get into the argument of who is the one. And Dylan, I think he got on social media and said he's only going to be out for like a couple weeks.
He didn't give a timeline, but he said that it shouldn't be bad. And I also just saw a headline that Gary O'Neill is hopeful that it could be not a terrible. Apparently, he was walking around like in the locker room.
That's
afterwards.
Good.
So only 2 weeks.
The only thing I was thinking about was kind of what you were talking about with that Korean guy. Ever since that comment, he's been pretty red hot too. So, I think there's no way that's a penalty.
Thank you.
Well, that was gonna be my next question.
Oh, sorry.
No penalty for you either? No, you're good.
No, I don't know, man. Because, like, I can't even... The way he fell... It's honestly one of these things. The way he fell down, I don't know what part of Hwang caused him to fall like that.
He didn't, because he stopped it. His leg stopped.
Yeah, so, like, if he like, pulls... Like, he kind of hits his foot. So if he pulls his foot up and is, like, holding his foot, then I'm like, okay, at least he's being truthful to where he got hit. But the way he reacted, I was like, I don't know if it's, like, his knee, like, knee to knee, and then foot to foot. Like, it just didn't seem like an actual foul to me. It didn't seem like it was very impactful. And, it's not like you can't touch somebody in the box. I just think it was really, really soft.
No penalty for me either. I watched it a couple times. I just thought it's like I don't know, it's a coming together of players. I'm sure we're going to get into the penalty that happened at the Manchester Derby, which I think is a little bit different. But I saw that and I was like, I don't know. Sometimes I feel like you wouldn't even call that a foul in the middle of the field.
Your penalty, by the way, and I know we're going to go into it, what happened in your game, to an extent, happened to Sasa as well. And I think it's just because he's 6'7", they didn't call it, which is also some BS.
Hakashasa.
Basically.
Yeah, I'm going to learn how to say his name, I promise.